It hasn't always been easy. And one of the biggest things for me was that self-confidence thing. So you might think, because I'm standing up here, that I'm full of self-confidence. No. Self-confidence is one of those funny things. I mean, it's like yesterday when I had the photo shoot. It's one of those things, oh no, I'm going to have to stand in front of a camera and I'm going to have to look all right. Because we innately, particularly girls, we don't always feel that confident about how we look and how we dress and the image that we create. And sometimes you just have to put a mask over the front of it and you have to just take a deep breath and go out and do it. And you'll find whether or not you like some of those situations and whether or not you really can't face them. So, I mean, my biggest fear is heights. And there is just no way I can go up tall things because they terrify me. And I know people who can't stand up and present because they have that same feeling of terror. But you can do it if you just do it little bit by little bit. And, you know, I train for a living, so I'm up in front of people all day. And I've got to the point now where it doesn't bother me. I don't need to work from a script because I know the overall message that I'm going to give. But back in the days where I used to have to try and write down everything I was going to say, it used to terrify me, absolutely terrify me. When I set up in business, because I didn't know anybody locally, I went to networking groups. So these are breakfast meetings that you can go to as a business person, where you'll meet other business people and you talk about, you know, well, what you do, why should people buy from you and all that kind of thing. And for about the first year, every time I stood up, because you have to do a 60-second slot every week, for about the first year, I couldn't eat any breakfast before it because my stomach was just upside down and my knees used to physically knock. So I don't know if you've ever had to stand and present, but when you stand up and you're frightened by it, the first thing that you do is you lock yourself in place so that you're not going to fall over and your knees aren't going to give way. But then you can feel your knees going up and down and it's the most bizarre feeling. But you do get used to things and it's practice. So if you're having to do something new, it is always scary when you first do it, because you've never done it before. You've got no idea whether it's going to work, whether it's not going to work, how you're going to be perceived, or anything at all. So all you can do is just do it. And as you get more confidence, you'll do more. So where I've struggled with things like having to speak in front of big groups of people, I just put myself through a bit of training. So I joined a speakers club in Lichfield, and the lady there, Lorna, she taught me how to control nerves. She taught me how to prepare for presentations. She taught me how to stand. She taught me how to use my hands as part of a presentation. And she taught me how to project my voice. So sometimes if something scares you, just go and find somebody or something that can give you a little bit of help. And things like that make a massive difference. So it was nothing, nobody told me to go and get that training, but I wanted to improve my skills. I wanted to be the best I could be at presenting, so I just took myself off and I joined a speakers club. And I had great fun there. I'm not part of it now just because I don't get the time, it's twice a month. But it is a fantastic thing to do, to be able to just go and do that little bit of self-development. So some of it is about asking for help. And you can't know everything, and people won't expect you to know everything. But if you don't know something, just ask for help. People actually really appreciate that. And they will be more inclined to bend over a little bit more backwards and help you to get something sorted out if they can see that you really want to do something. And they will give their time, and they'll quite often give that freely. So if you're stuck with something, just ask.